to KDO's Food Carnival. Today, Expressive Dance Bites. How exciting! This is an episode that's going to make you want to get out there and own yourself. My guest today is so fabulous and entertaining. She is going to show us how to dance the pole dance and do some things that you've never even seen on the floor. However, before we get there, we want to hear a little story. Now, let me back up and say why Expressive Dance Bites. The truth is that things happen to all of us, men and women. As we're developing, when we're young, we're at tender ages where we're vulnerable. And sometimes it can go into abuse. Sometimes it can go into things that just hurt us. Sometimes it's things we can't let go of or we think we can't see our way through. And the truth is, as we grow up, as we heal, as we become full versions of ourselves, we not only seek assistance from others, but assistance from within. And one of the best, most creative ways is through dance. Clothing, dance, activities, hobbies, any way we can get those emotions out and in a wonderful, beautiful expression of self, it heals us. And when we heal ourselves, we heal generations to come, and we help others heal themselves. But to own ourselves is one of the most freeing things in the world. It allows us to say, this is who I am, and I am vulnerable to the world. What does this have to do with food? Well, what I have discovered in my experience is that when we make ourselves vulnerable and when we express ourselves and we share ourselves with the world, we need time to then retreat back to ourselves. And sometimes it's through food. Comforting, warming, safe food in which we can then say, I've earned this, I'm safe with this, and I enjoy this. So what I'm going to be doing is showing you some really comfortable bites. That's not to say you need to overindulge, but I'm not skimping on those ingredients because that's what coddles us like a warm blanket after we've gone out and shared ourselves with the world. It's a beautiful way to recover or just grow up sometimes and just get that out, that daily stuff even. It doesn't even have to be from the past. But men and women alike, adults and children, we all experience things that the human existence wants us to be brought down by. But what we do is we take ourselves, find that inner strength, and bring it out in our expressions. I am so thrilled to introduce you to Melissa, who, by the way, her nickname is Bubbles, which will tell you right there that she is bubbling over the top with beauty and enthusiasm for life like I've never seen before. So let me share Melissa with you. I am so excited. It is with overflowing joy and excitement that I bring you Bubbles. Now, Melissa Lulick started off as my hairdresser 12 and a half years ago, and we became such deep, true friends in that process. And together, we have developed into a real combo of personalities, helping each other and embracing our journey together, not just through hair, but through a number of areas in our lives and different ways we express ourselves. I couldn't resist sharing her with you because this girl has energy and delight that is so expressive. Let me say hello to my darling. Hello, darling.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, well, I'm going to have you start off because there's something about me sharing your story, but there's something even better about you sharing your story. So let's talk about who you are right now and what you enjoy.
Well, currently I actually started doing pole about 2.5 years ago, and it was a nice creative outlet because I actually, as you know, you just said, I'm a hairstylist and I absolutely love making people beautiful, and I wanted to find new ways to express who I am as a person. And it was basically more than I anticipated when I got into the studio. I thought, hey, I get to be strong, I get to figure out...
Well, you had done some, I've got to kind of just share this, you had done some bodybuilding. And you had a strong physique, so I'm assuming you weren't going into it completely without muscular structure.
Well, I have a lot of friends that are bodybuilders, so I did a lot of training with them and really kind of found different ways of seeing how strong I am.
Okay.
And I really loved kind of pushing myself to the limit, so it was
so that was kind of like a start, an intro into...
I think that's the only reason why I even thought that I could even try.
All right, so how'd you get into it? Was it a friend that said, hey, you have to do this?
Actually, I was always curious about it, but I went to Columbus, Ohio for the Arnold, which is a fitness expo that's amazing, and it has so many different categories, and I went there for some bodybuilding shows because I knew people that competed, and it was amazing. I actually saw the athletic side of pole when I was there, and it almost felt like it was more attainable because I didn't feel sexy. Like, I didn't feel like I could do the sexy stuff. Like, it was just not something that I can grasp.
Okay, so let's kind of tap into that a little bit. I know I'm going to bring you there. There's a lot in ourselves as women, and what I also touched upon, men have it too, so I don't want to just say that it's just women, but as we're developing, we are vulnerable children, we're adults, we experience things that challenge us in our sexual identity.
Yes.
And at some point, in order to recover from whatever has hurt us, we need to own it. So I think in a lot of ways, you have to turn it all into, I'm not a victim, I'm not a survivor, I'm a thriver. And I think that dance has done that for you?
Definitely. It definitely helped me a lot because I was afraid of expressing who I was, and afraid that I'm too fat or I'm too big, I'm not pretty enough. So many things that I've been told my whole
By the way,
life.
just looking at her, she's beautiful, so we all know that. So,
and
okay.
That's why I love you.
I will say it with the world. You're gorgeous. So, but we have our personal challenges. We have negative self-talk. So how does dance allow you to embrace your inner beauty and express it in an outward form? Because this can be very vulnerable.
It's extremely vulnerable, and especially depending on what songs you tend to play with in order to find your art within yourself. And it takes you to a place because you channel everything, and there is no boundaries. You have there's no place to say you can't move there. You can't put your body in that position. You experiment and you find so much more about your strengths and shapes that you can create that are gorgeous.
I love that. So it's like expression and freedom to express.
Yes.
So you grant yourself that gift of I'm free to be
Yes.
me, and then the more you do it, I'm assuming the more comfortable you become with that.
You do.
Less intimidated to show the world.
Definitely. You still have like these different, I like to say, doors you open.
Yeah.
That you tap into. So you start finding more about yourself because, depending on like situations you have going on in your life, you have these struggles and you find a way to tap in to release that through dance, and just channel everything and put your heart and soul into it.
That is so healthy though, because I think that what people don't understand is like we could talk to a therapist, we can do work on ourselves, we can share our experiences with another friend or whatever it may be. But in all honesty, as we actually live our lives, that energy and those stresses and that expression has to come out.
Yes.
And I think through physical ways, especially beautiful dance,
well, your
and
endorphins
expressive
go off.
dance,
Your endorphins go off. That's
it
gonna be a
allows
bonus.
that release. So you can, walk away from it and going, okay, I've let that go, and now I'm through it, and I get to be me. Am I correct in that helps a lot?
That definitely helps. And since I started pole and working with a lot of women that are very strong and confident, I learned the difference between confidence and feeling conceited. I was afraid that if I ever thought good of myself, I was conceited, and it's a negative thing.
That's huge.
And
that's
not
actually a gigantic point, because a lot of women out there are like, well, I don't want to think I'm beautiful because we have these fears that other people are going to be threatened meant by us.
Yes.
And the truth is, it's just owning it. When you love yourself, you love others.
Yes, and you're not putting anybody down.
No,
you're actually
right.
finding ways to look at yourself differently. And I think, if anything, when I started pole, and I actually had one in my house, you know, it really had a time for me to play, you know, it's where I turned music on, and sometimes I would hit record just to see what I did, because, you know, of course, once the music starts, you don't know where you're going. And I found, yeah, like, all of a sudden there's like body parts everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love it.
And
I love
feeling
it.
good. And I remember first recordings, I actually saw myself in such a different light. Like, I was like, I actually thought I looked pretty. Like, there's a difference between other people thinking that I look good,
Or just telling
or
you.
complimenting me.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, your mom has to tell you, because, you know, she's your mom.
Not always. I mean, we'd all like to think so, but not all moms do. So.
Just so you know, okay.
Kudos to your
clarifying,
mom.
yeah.
Love it.
I had to actually see it for myself.
Yeah.
And when I actually took a screenshot, I was like, that's me. I never saw myself that way. And every once in a while, sometimes when I do feel down, I actually do like a photo shoot with myself, where I put something
That's
sexy.
so cool.
Yeah, I put something sexy on, and I put my 10-second timer on. And it's just for me to like check what I'm thinking of myself, because there's times where I'm like, ooh, I feel bloated, I feel fat, why would anybody like me? And then I have to like, ooh, no, I am a sexy being.
Stop the negative self-talk at a certain
because
point.
sexy is not negative. Sexy is ownership of who you are, and you know, your body language and expressing freely. Sexy is vulnerable. It is not negative in any way, and I learned that, and it's been life-changing for me.
Now, you just had a recent kind of breakthrough experience where you competed. Well, you performed.
I performed.
It wasn't
I
really
haven't
a competition.
competed. Yeah,
okay.
I haven't competed yet, but I have done a couple like performances on stage, which has been, let me just tell you, getting you out of your comfort zone. That definitely will push you.
I love that. That really does push us, because once you broke through, and I know that this just happened fairly recently, but once you break through that, you experience that, you're so much less intimidated, and the next time it's not so scary. You're like, I can do
this. You still get the nerves. It's just, you know that it feels good afterwards.
Excitement more. You know you can do it. You have that confidence.
Yes. And recently I just was in St. Louis for Extravaganza, which Michelle Minks, she's a burlesque poler. She's phenomenal. She's actually one of the first, when I first started in pole and I went to my first convention, she was like my first workshop with a pro, and she like blew my face like off, you know, because I was just like, I don't think I could ever do and be like that. And she helped me so much to get over humps of performing and getting rid of some of those nerves. And so she had this extravaganza, and it's actually a fundraiser, and all the money goes to sexual assault victims, which is huge to help these women that go through these horrible situations. And I was so honored to be a participant, especially because I am a victim myself, and I've been through that situation, and it really breaks your heart. That's why it took me so long to get where I'm at today, because you never felt like you were good enough, or you're used for certain purposes, not actually like you are a human being.
And that's so important, as women helping other women and loving and nurturing them through whatever. And I don't want to limit it just to women, because men can have beautiful male relationships as well. But when you're dealing with somebody who's been sexually abused and needs to get through to a place of safety and security with their sexuality and ownership, it is great to stay with the same sex and be supported without the pettiness.
Yes, and especially having a strong group. I mean, it's such a hard time, and it's such, it wears on your soul, you know? And you know, you really do need a support system. You know, something to get you through life. And we're supposed to connect as humans, you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like everything that is going on tends to force us to disconnect. And I love that I at least found an area to where I can connect. I mean, the girls at the studio that I just started working at, they're amazing at really just pumping you up and
like
feeling
positive
good.
energy.
Yes. You know, to where we have a safe place.
Yes, exactly. And it's so wonderful when you are vulnerably expressing yourself to then come back more whole. And that's where I come in. You're not a victim. You're not a survivor. You're a thriver, and you're moving forward at a rapid pace of self-discovery and self-development. So this is so fabulous. We are going to move into our fabulous comfort food bites, because when you are expressive, you are very, very, very vulnerable, and food then comforts us. So we're going to see a little dance in response to that beautiful comfort food. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. I love to show my tips. Expressive dance bites. Now, my motivation and inspiration on these bites is because when we express ourselves through our art, in this case, dance, but any form of art that we're truly showing our honesty, we make ourselves vulnerable. It's like we lift that veil. And afterwards, we have now shown the world our true selves. What do we need to then give ourselves? We walk off stage or we do something. Comfort and warmth and safety. And that's where my bites are inspired from. There is nothing more fun and more delicious and more comforting than the grilled cheese. So I can't just stop at one. I have to show you 4 varieties, which I think you're gonna love. So we're gonna start with our cheese varieties. And I'm gonna have a little demo, which I'm gonna show you. Not everything in and of itself, but there are selections. You can choose your cheese based on what your taste buds are, what you like meltability. Clearly you're gonna see I'm not showing any processed cheese. These are all natural cheeses. So we're gonna have Gouda. We have Fontino, which melts beautifully. Both of those melt beautifully. You've heard me say it before. Smoked Gouda is delicious in combination. We've got Swiss and we've got pepper jack. Now, how do we combine these and what are our extra accoutrements to add in? Plus our bread variety. Bread varieties can be white. We can do sourdough. We can do a brioche, sliced brioche. So fun. So get a little creative. You can always go rye if you want, or another variety if you'd like. Right now, these are the 3 that I'm showing these sandwiches on. We're gonna start with our most basic, but then kind of jazz it up. So the grilled cheese that I'm showing here, look at how creamy and gooey. This is Fontina. What I've added for a little fun is a little chive. And then if you want a little crunch and your guests are not in any way allergic to nuts, hazelnuts just crushed up in there. So delicious. Then if you use a slight hand, not too heavy, definitely not too heavy, little touch of truffle oil. It's delicious. So delicious. Look at how ooey and gooey that one is. Fabulous. And I will be tasting. Oh, actually, I'll taste right now. The hazelnuts add like a nutty earthiness with the Fontina. And then the chive, it's not an aggressive onion, so it's beautiful. It is really exciting, but still basic for that basic grilled cheese lover. Next, we're moving on. Let's go to, my Park Avenue grilled cheese. This is so fun. Also a vegetarian. So these 2 are vegetarian, then I add a little meat. But the vegetarian, I use a mango chutney, a little arugula, and that's where I go with my pepper jack. It's spicy, sweet, and peppery with the arugula. This is probably a crowd favorite. Why it's called the Park Avenue, I don't know. It reminded me of Park Avenue because there's always something fun and spicy on Park Avenue, but it's sweet and tempting all at the same time. With that peppery green, it looks beautiful. Once again, ooey gooey, so delicious. Let me show you really quickly the arugula that I'm using. The baby arugula is much more tender when it's in a sandwich. So it's got a little bit more peppery flavor. It's delicious. So, I mean, if you just taste it, you're gonna pick that up immediately. That's beautiful. Plus, you don't have so much stringiness if it's smaller. You can always chop it a little bit before you put it in the sandwich. Great tip. This is one of the, well, everybody's favorites because it's the pizza grilled cheese. It's a pepperoni pizza grilled cheese. Seriously, I'm not kidding. What I would recommend is with your pepperoni, cook it a little bit in a pan to crisp it just slightly before you put it in your grilled cheese. Any meat, I like to do that. fresh basil, julienne it. Once again, you don't want things getting in people's teeth. You don't want them taking out a whole leaf when they're eating it. And then just your pasta sauce. And this we did just on your white bread because it's kind of classic. You could do it on a crispy Italian though as well. And this is so fun. I gotta be honest, kids, adults, everybody loves a pepperoni pizza, grilled cheese. It's a hit. That is so delicious. Yummy. All those elements you're looking for. One more is a classic. Now this is one of my favorites from Ireland because so many times we'll do a ham and cheese toasty, and this kind of emulates that. So if you've ever traveled England, Ireland, this is kind of a classic favorite. We do a little country ham. Now with this one, I like to do Swiss and Gouda, but one of my favorite secret ingredients in this, caramelize some onions. It brings it to this like whole new level where you almost feel like you're eating like as decadent and comforting as a burger, but it's not a burger, it's a grilled cheese. So it's got like all the best elements, and that one's right here in front of me. You can see the cheeses, the ham, the caramelized onions. This is one of my craveable items. That is amazing. On this one also, you can add the smoked Gouda because it enhances the ham. So it's delicious. I know you're going to love these, but let me give you a couple cooking tips. Now that we've tasted, seen our ingredients, if you have a panini press or a grilled cheese press, those are going to give you the most even cook. Paninis, you can see they give you the beautiful lines on the bread. They crisp it up beautifully. If you don't have one though, in a pan, put your butter. You want a medium, just above medium. So if you're heat on your stove, so let's say your stove goes from 1 to 10. Low to high is 1 to 10. You want to be about a 6, maybe a 6.5. Once you build your sandwich, put your butter in to the pan, let it like melt a little bit. Build your sandwich right in there. Cover it once your cheese is in there so you can contain that heat, bring it back in without burning the bread. That's everybody's biggest challenge with the grilled cheese, the burnt bread. And you're like, I just ruined my sandwich. But keep it mellow, take your time, be a little patient with it, and you're gonna have a beautiful sandwich. You can definitely combine it if you want with your favorite soup, but these grilled cheese varieties, and there's millions more to go, these are beautiful representations of comfort food that highlight and comfort us after we express ourselves. Enjoy these. I'll be right back with our next featured comfort bite. Chicago has an amazing Greek neighborhood and representation where our food, we are privileged to eat some fantastic Greek food, and I grew up eating it. So for me, this was an easy one, but I like everything in mini, especially when you're having people over or doing something. Greek food sounds bountiful and beautiful, but what we want to do is capture the bountiful, beautiful flavors without it being size heavy. So let's start with our Greek salad. Everybody I know loves a Greek salad. And one of the things that makes a Greek salad so fabulous is, well, in this situation, I always put it in like a 9-ounce little tumbler. So cute. You can walk around with it. You can just hang out with it. But the ingredients on top are the feta, and then the secret to using onion, because they do use a lot of raw onion in Greek food, is slice it as paper thin as you can possibly get it. That is such a huge tip. I'm telling you right now. It presents the flavor and the scent of the onion, which is essential in a lot of these ingredients, but it's not going to overwhelm and blow out your palate, and you're not going to get that like, oh my God, I can't taste anything else afterwards feel. So it just kind of highlights it. I like to do peppers, green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper, tomatoes, feta, and then the dressing. Try and make your own if you can. And what you want to do is use a lemon, olive oil, Greek olive oil if you have it, Greek oregano, and a little red wine vinegar, and emulsify it. So what that means is put it into your little Vitamix or your blender or whatever you have, a little Cuisinart, and mix it so it combines and doesn't separate. That's one of the tricks when you're serving it to a party, is it won't separate, so you're shaking the dressing the whole time. Put it on at the last minute or have it on the side for people, even in a squeeze bottle or a cruet. And this is so fabulous. I'm going to take a bite. The feta and the onions, so delicious and fresh and citrusy. It cleanses the palate. It is delicious. It is so full of flavor, and it's still so healthy. We just loaded up on a little bit of grilled cheese. Now we need some veggies. Beautiful. Now the second one, a little bit more decadent. I'm keeping it mini, but these are mini 2-bite gyros, and these are awesome. A lot of times we think of gyro, and it is gyros. Gyros is really how the Greeks pronounce it, but gyro, not gyro. Okay, so gyro. It is a lamb which is actually mixed with seasoning, usually built onto a big skewer, layered and skewered over live flame for hours. I don't expect you to do that. There are some beautiful options out there to purchase, but purchase a more high-end one if you can. Hopefully from a trusted Greek distributor. That's always a plus because they know their meats and they know their seasoning. Pita bread. Here's a full-size pita, which you would most likely find. You can cut this into small cylinder shapes by just using the top of a glass, or if you have any like cutouts. Super cute. That's what makes them mini. Now, the ingredients that build into the pita, tomato. Once again, I'm going to show you thin sliced. Super thin sliced onion and tzatziki. Yogurt, cucumber. It's Greek yogurt, plain, not flavored. Cucumber, garlic, onion. It's beautiful. It is so fabulous. If you can't make your own, there are some sensational options to purchase out there. But I am going to take a bite. Cute skewer. I'm going to de-skewer. I'm going to show you because this is a flavor bomb. I tell you, this is like comfort. If you love Greek food, this is a little mini secret. So yummy. It's fun. People love it. They don't get it very often. Very unexpected, but comforting. So I hope you're enjoying. We're going to go share these bites with Melissa and watch her dance and respond. So we'll see you soon. Okay, so as promised, one of the things that inspires me to create food for others in this situation was the comfort element. And what I wanted to do is ask Melissa herself, what foods bring you comfort? And the response, she loves Greek food. Well, how do we make Greek food fun? I have brought you a mini 2-bite gyro and a beautiful Greek salad, which has a bountiful selection of feta, which is one of her favorites. So what we're going to do today is a little different than what we've done in the past, and this is so fun. We're going to have Melissa taste with me and then express herself after she tastes in any kind of way that speaks to her. So bear with us. Let's start with our mini gyro. Yes. Take our pick out, which I love. It does hold it together, which is always so fun.
I'm so excited right now. I'm freaking out.
That is so perfect. I always say you don't always want to dive into a giant gyro, but a little mini, you're oh my God.
This is good because it has every single flavor in one bite.
Yeah.
Everything you're wanting.
I know.
Like chunk of meat.
Yeah, so it's like the perfect size. All right, now I'm going to say to you, let's dive into that feta, girl.
Yes.
Yes, the Greek olives, the tomatoes, the dressing, and I love these little cups that hold it. You don't even need a lot of food. You just need the flavors to be so bright.
No, it is perfect. It is perfect.
All right, now you're going to set down your fork. And you're
Really?
gonna go,
I have to?
I know, it's that tough.
Okay.
But now you're going to dance your little booty off And show us that you feel safe and comfortable doing it. You're not vulnerable anymore. Express yourself. Okay, so I love the Greek expression, so fabulous. There is nothing more comforting than grilled cheese. Honestly, there are so many different ways that you can deliver grilled cheese and present it. I have 4 varieties because I just couldn't limit myself that much. So I know I am building some of your favorite flavors into a grilled cheese. Here we're going to start with, and I'm going to ask you, this is a fontina and chive, so pick up a piece and enjoy. So this is vegetarian, fontina and chive, very classic.
Oh, jeez.
There is some safety and security. And the cheese makes you not need a lot because it's bold. Okay, I'm gonna move you on to what I call a Park Avenue grilled cheese, and the reason is I don't even know why, except that I think it's really kind of fun and exciting, and it's got spicy sweet. So it is a pepper jack with arugula and a spicy mango chutney, which is so delicious. Oh, wait till you try this. Isn't that different?
It is so different.
Also vegetarian.
No, but you can really taste the sweet, and then you have that kick at the end.
Yeah, like that little spicy, and then the peppery and the arugula. See, I'm gonna get some dance. I'm gonna get some dance out of this
one. I'm already moving.
Into a grilled cheese goes your pepperoni pizza. This is inspired by my daughter because she swears by pizza on everything in every different way. So Lindsay inspired this.
Yes.
So we are gonna dive into this little pepperoni pizza grilled cheese. Yeah, this is your comfort right here. This is like, oh, like I'm a warm blanket and safety pillow. Yeah. It works.
I think I almost like this better than actual pizza, to tell you the truth. Like, this is definitely like
well, on the East Coast, they always fold their pizza. It's kind of, may as well make it into a grilled cheese and make it like pick up a ball.
I love it.
All right, I'm not trying to race you, but I am bringing you.
I'm like, this is like overloaded.
I know. One more gorgeous, beautiful bite.
Which looks delicious, by the way.
This is one of my favorite sandwiches in Ireland, actually. It's ham and Gouda and Swiss. So this is cheesy, meaty, salty, yummy goodness. Once again, very comforting.
I'm kind of glad I'm working out in the middle.
I know. You're next, yes. Got some caramelized onions in there. All right, we're gonna watch you flow into your goodness and express your comfortable self.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yes. Yay. Thank you for joining for this fabulous episode with my expressive friend, Melissa. We hope you enjoy her art form and her beauty. Go out and find yourself a little place to dance and love yourself. It's worth it. You're worth it. See you next time on KDO's Food Carnival.